Okay. Yeah, yeah. Possibly. What the heck? Anybody deserves to know it's me. Oh, Lord. There's Avery and Mark, my lovely oldest child. Oh, she got married in here the second time. I did do it. It's on YouTube. I did a wonderful job. It became all about me. Come on in, children. Come on. Come in. I need you in here. I need you in here. Front row. I need some people in the front row. People in the front row get an extra special gift. There we go. James is getting to the front row. I need people in the front row right over here for the camera. Right over there for the camera. There's Al. Al's coming. Al from Raleigh, North Carolina. I was afraid you were from the city, and that would have been two of you. This is going to be an interesting show tonight. A little different. All right, that's right where I need you. I need some people in the front row, Mr. Chris, for the camera. I need a full row here for the camera. Full row. She's up here. She's in the front. Come on to the front. She's right here. Come on, Becca. We need you in the front. Now we're looking better. It's all about camera stuff, you know? All right. How we feeling, James Michael? I want something of that flask when this is over. All right, well, do your best. Where's Doug Hicks? I thought he was coming. I hope he's all right. We're up front. We're up front. I've absconded Chris up front. He's filling a camera for me. Yep. There's Mississippi. There are a lot more people out there in Mississippi. We need to send some more in. Yeah, get Gerald. We just had Gerald's 70th birthday. Gerald's a good friend. The only people that seem to take care of him are deviant hippies and deviant mountain people. But we get him straightened out. I've got him on the... Yeah. I know. I'm going to put cup holders on there sooner or later. It's going to happen. I'll be happy if I can get off the stage without killing myself. It's the little things, right? Little things. All right, I've got to get started by talking sponsors. Hang in with me, Logan. First off, I need to thank Stonehouse Winery. How's the wine? The wine is good? Stonehouse Winery, located in Crossville, Tennessee, exit 320, right off Interstate 40. An incredible tasting room, a wonderful retail environment, and an immaculate, choice of fabulous wines. Oh, yes, we're lighting the candles. Absolutely. I always forget that part. I want to thank our friends at W&O Construction, Overton County, Lewis Oakley, always there for us, always supporting us in a big way. I was great friends with his daddy, Bobby, and who would have thought it would have come to this? Bobby would love this. Cooper Recycling, as always, big supporters. They've been with us since the beginning. Cindy Cooper grew up across the river. I've told that story with nothing. And they started a little recycling business without even scales. They would count the cans and run them over in the yard, crush them with a car, with a truck, and take them and recycle them. And that was like 30 years ago. And their last piece of equipment cost $23 million. And you can't find an old car or washing machine on the plateau anymore. I was about a year and a half ago when they had just took delivery on 12 brand new milk trucks, when 11 won too. So we're real proud of them. They're also a big part of our outreach. They have provided us with smoked hams to take for the last year and a half, and are going to do it again this year. So we'll be able to take Thanksgiving hams and Christmas hams on the mountain along with everything else. Got you a hat. All right, baby. It's an old one, but it's a good one. Who else? Who am I forgetting, Logan? I know I'm forgetting somebody. I want to send out a special thanks to our friend Brian Moffitt he's in Houston right now, a big supporter. He's having some experimental therapy there, and we're all, wishing him the best and get him home soon. He was supposed to be here tonight, but he's fighting the fight. Is there anybody else on there that I didn't mention? John Mark Wendell, absolutely. John Mark has become a sponsor of the fall benefit shows. John Mark Wendell is our state representative, and he is one right-minded guy, and he has been a huge asset to the people in this community. He assists people achieving Social Security disability. And are you waving at Micah? 2 candles. These 2. Those 2 need to go too. Mississippi's the manager here. So all of you that are in John Mark's voting district, he's good. He's yours. He's good. He helps people, and not all of them do. I'm not going to sit up here and disparage the person that's fixing to run for governor, but I'd like to. I'm not. I've been warned. We've got a basket. This is a ticketed event. I know a bunch of you already paid, and I know a bunch of you are volunteers. But if you haven't paid yet, it's $25, and Mississippi's got a basket there, and all the money goes to the cause. This is not anything that's coming here. As always, nothing's coming to the sanctuary. We're doing our best to do some good in the world. Sweetwater Beer. Love Sweetwater Beer. We're trying to make them a major festival sponsor. Now that I've figured out what 420 means, I think I'm going to have a little better luck with them. Took me over a year. I swear to God. I'm sitting there looking at a can and I'm going, oh. And that's Budweiser of Cookeville. And, of course, they've been with us forever. So I think that about covers all of those, doesn't it? All right. How do we look on the stream? We look good? We have new friends here. We have Logan. Raise your hand, Logan. And Zach. Zach's on camera. I had a moment of clarity. Damn to say. And I think, now I really need to get the stream thing going bigger. What should I do? And I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll call it the program at MTSU, where they teach that. And by God, both of them, you're graduated. So she's moving here. And Zach's about to graduate. And he's graduating next year. And Zach actually produces the football games at MTSU. So these are qualified people that, of course, everyone is a child to me, under 50, under 60, but they're not children, but they know their stuff, and they've been here since yesterday. And then I want to talk about Skip, who's out in the stream wagon out here in the fancy camper, and we are streaming this now through Stage 10, and I want to mention Stage 10 up in Canada, and they are a brand new streaming outlet for us, and they're going to allow us to stream to multiple outlets at one time, also to interact with our audience and archive. So this is Facebook Live. It's also on YouTube, and it's also on Performers Facebook and on my personal Facebook. So we're hoping to increase the audience and increase the awareness through that. That said, oh, I love that outfit. Oh, my God. I have one just like that. I do. I don't wear it in public, though, but I have the legs for it. I want to quickly mention my take on refugees, because This is a tour. The Liberty Circus is a tour, and this is just one of the many stops. It's going to end up in New York. And we were invited to go to New York today, Munch. You want to go to the city and MC the show? Yeah, didn't we make some kind of promise to God never to go back to New York? I don't know. But, yeah, no, I think we really have to go. My experience with refugees in this area has to do with, of course, the Latino population that is so big up and around Monterey. Don't be mean to her. I remember a broadcast period, a year, 2, 3 years, I don't know, sometime in the past, it's all a blur, where they were complaining that they were running out of housing for all the children that were showing up on the border in Arizona. That the mothers and the parents in Guatemala would take their children and put them on a train, often on the roof of a train, and hope they made it all the way through Mexico undocumented and would somehow make it into the United States undocumented and possibly meet up with some relative or with Catholic Charities or somebody that would care for them. And the sheriff down in Arizona, whose name I won't mention because I've been warned, who's under indictment, was complaining that there were so many children coming in it was overwhelming his facilities. Instead of going, my God, people are sending their children here. We have to help them. They were trying to figure out
thereabouts. In this old world that we got today, who knows how it goes? You may rise, you may fall. That's the way it rolls. And him that gets will be him that gets. And what you got will help. They say a rich man, he may lose his soul, saving all that wealth, but it's hell on a poor boy. It's hell on a poor boy. It's hell on a poor boy in a world that don't care. Yeah, he keep the wheels rolling, but he don't get nowhere. And you'll find him in some red line, or standing at some bar, and that's just somewhere killing time all around the world. It's hell on a poor boy. It's hell on a poor boy. You know he built this city, every city on this old earth, and every dam and every bridge, every church, every highway. The nation's just his work. Yeah, they built a big wall around China. That wasn't Mao who laid the block. Here's some poor forgotten fool like me, and his hell just thinking back. Oh yes, his hell. I ought to know. Yeah, it's hell. It's hell on that poor boy. And it's hell on a poor boy, yeah, it's hell on a poor boy, yeah, and a poor girl too. Thank y'all. Going to send a few out to all those who are a little less off than the rest of us. We'll all be there soon enough. I have sweated today. I'm getting my exercise, I guess. Here's one I wrote with a fellow from Scotland, David Gerard. Wonderful country writer, and came through Knoxville got stuck over there in the old Bermuda Triangle of the Appalachians for a while, and on his way to Nashville to be a country music songwriter. We were in Nashville last night. I didn't see any country music songwriters. Anyway, this is a song called For Only a Dollar. The sign around his neck said he was deaf and blind. Cardboard box on the sidewalk, best home that he could find. And I threw him on my loose chain when I read his plea. $1 is my way of not wanting to see. The coins hit the cup that he held in his hand. Embarrassed, I watched as he struggled to stand, and he said, "Thank you kindly, for I've no place to go. $1 is my way of not wanting to know. For only $1 I can just walk away and forget I have seen him and get on with my day. For only $1 I can leave him behind. For only $1 I can be deaf and blind. I turned to walk away as he tried to move near. $1 is my way of not wanting to hear. But he stared right through me with those unseeing eyes, and I thought of my dear Savior. Is this him in disguise? For only $1 I can just walk away and forget I have seen him and get on with my day. For only $1 I can leave him behind. For only $1 I can be deaf and blind. Thank you. Anya's coming up next year.
More wine, more beer. It's getting dark. Does that every night about this time, I've noticed. But I like it. I like it. Can I get you and Sarah to sit on this side? Does that be all right? I know it's not your normal spot. I need you in the camera. There we go. This is Mark Benson. He's the chairman of the board, and the proprietor of the Hooker Hotel in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Anybody wants a great weekend or week and you love great blues music, the Hooker Hotel is the place to be, man. So what are we doing? All right. I know y'all have heard me prattle on about working on a documentary on the mountain with the mountain people. And Anya has been kind enough to up and go up, oh, I like that, with me on the mountain and meet the people and write about it. And Cravenstown, Tennessee is a remnants of long gone coal mining days. And the people up there, I got to quit saying things with P in it. The folks up there are struggling. Right, girls? They are. They're good people. I feel safer up there than I do in Nashville. I don't know if y'all watch the news, but it seems like somebody gets killed in Nashville every day. It's no more than once a week in Cravenstown. But it's a struggle, and I've made some really good friends in my time up there, and people like Cotton Abston and Judy Bowles and Patricia Murphy and Frankie Murphy and Zona Abston and Billy Cross, I think. Has anybody seen Billy? Billy Cross is living up there right now with end-stage kidney failure in an abandoned RV without electricity. And he keeps getting shuffled off from the hospitals, but that's another whole story. But after we went up there and had a wonderful day or two, and as we were driving home, I think I mentioned that you should write this shit down. And she did, and she wrote several songs about it that will be in the documentary. And this is one of them. This is called Cravenstown. Anya Hinkle. Give it up.
Just want to say this is a little bit of a travelogue through Cravenstown. And each verse is kind of about somebody different that I met. And one of those people is here tonight, Patricia. And some stories she shared with me about her father, some newspaper clippings and whatnot. So anyway, I'm really pleased to be able to sing this for you. And I was at this area a couple months ago and got to sing this for another friend of ours, Zona. And anyway, it's you're the toughest audience because this is... Have you heard where the Cape and Billy cross? Wrecked RVs by the dumpster I got a story from Cravenstown. Didn't bring power up the mountain till the boys came back from Korea. Didn't have no cash money then, didn't have no outhouse neither. But we's lucky we had a home, and Daddy retired alive from Davidson. Oh, buddy, I got a story from Cravenstown. Ain't too many of us left here like refugees from a war. They bring us our commodities, our cans and rations. Yeah, we get by somehow. First Overton, then Wilder, then Davidson. Yeah, them mines all closed down. Oh, buddy, I got a story from Cravenstown. Oh, buddy, ain't we got a story from Cravenstown?
How'd you like that, girls? Yeah, you recognize any of those people? It's a very, very special place. I can't begin to tell you how I feel about it. It is the survivors that survived a very difficult time, and absolutely it goes on today. And the cemeteries up there are filled with children under 4 years old that never had a chance to grow up. And it's kind of specific to that area. Once you get down the mountain, not so much. But we have another friend up there named Zona. And Zona's married to Cotton. They don't live in the same house anymore, but we're working on that. And I've known Cotton since 1974, when he used to bring his foxhounds in to the veterinarian's office where I worked. And Zona is a very traditional mountain woman. She told me she couldn't vote for Hillary because women are supposed to be subservient to men. But I forgave her. I don't think she voted anyway. But she has always worked hard, and she's always grown gardens, and she grew up in a house where her father left when she was 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, and it's a typical story, but it's also enlightening when you meet people that have faced that struggle and have worked their way through it. And Zona's 77, 78 years old, 25% Cherokee Indian, as are you, and are you. I had to learn that late. And tomorrow is Zona's birthday. Is that right? 78 tomorrow? 79 tomorrow. God bless her. And so this is a song that Anya wrote from sitting in Zona's kitchen and talking to her and learning about her and visiting with her. And she's just one of those people like you guys that have retained the culture and retained the stories and survived the struggle and remain today to represent the past in a place that probably won't be here forever as far as the culture up there. So this is Zona's song. What's the title now? We don't even know yet. Zona's Ballad?
Ballad of Zona Abston, Miner's daughter.
All right. Ballad of Zona Abston, Miner's daughter. Anya Hinkle once more time.
Boys are cutting shine on the road outside, like thunder the way the engine sounded. Boys, this story ain't about you this time. It's about my 75 years on this mountain. The wheels of my mind turn backwards. I can see clear as spring water. My heart thrills but aches as I tell the words of a Cravenstown coal miner's daughter. I was born the fifth of 9 children. My daddy was a miner at Davidson, but a blown out shot set a shaft to burning, and the company don't pay damages or pensions. So daddy said he's going down to the river shore, gonna drown himself in the deepest water. With an arrow coin or a script for the company store, found a new girl and went to Indiana. I've wanted for daddy and I've wanted for learning. I've wanted for some of God's goodwill. If there's anyone to know there's more to life than a dollar bill, Lord, you know it's me. Am I deserving this cold-hearted dream? It's a long barefooted walk to the schoolhouse, say, nothing to make a lunch pail with neither. Just the eyeballs that drop from the schoolyard tree. Mama died, nothing was waiting for our dinner. Well, Cotton came a-calling, was about 17. Soon after the babies came crying. Well, it did a little mine and a little shine in between. Little drinking, a little gambling besides. I've wanted for daddy and I've wanted for learning. I've wanted for some of God's goodwill. If there's anyone to know there's more to life than a dollar bill, Lord, you know it's me. Am I deserving this cold-hearted dream? Mine's all done, but we're still on this mountain. Guess our roots were a little stronger than our wings. And flying ain't as easy when it's pennies that you're counting, while the company men are off living like kings. Well, the blessing of a baby is the burden of a mother, and a wife pays the wages of a wedding band. and a mine's just a hole in the ground like any other, and a company ain't ever worth a damn. I've wanted for daddy, I've wanted for learning, I've wanted some of God's goodwill. If there's anyone to know there's more to life than a dollar bill, Lord, you know it's me. Am I deserving this cold-hearted dream?
Hold it on. Yeah, man. Ballad of Zona Abston, Coal Miner's Daughter. It's so much true up there. Of all the interviews and all the people I've talked to, I don't think I ever met one person who wasn't touched by some injury or tragedy coming out of the coal mines. Everybody has a family member that was hurt or killed, and back in that day, you didn't get compensated, you got fired. And that's just the way it was. And yet there's an abiding pride. There's a great pride in the coal mining days and what the people did. And it really, it started at the turn of the century in the 1900s, and they were the backbone of the Industrial Revolution. They provided energy, and they provided what it took to move our country forward. And I don't think that they've ever been fully appreciated. Yeah, I like it. That's right. You better hug those girls. We were up there with a Swedish film crew just before the festival, and they interviewed you, didn't they? They'd never seen anything like it. They were a little surprised that people live that way in this country, in this great country of ours. But we're doing our best to change it. And we're working a little bit with the Upper Cumberland Development District right now, and there's some houses being built and some houses being fixed, and Zona got a house. And it did my heart good to see that. We're going to bring a poet up here. I met this man, and he had to remind me of it because it's so far back, it's a blur. We met at Malcolm's house on the 4th of July about 9 years ago. I know it was the last time I ever ate a hot dog. Yeah. Maybe not. And I met Al's daughter, Isabel. And Isabel is from Guatemala. And they adopted her. How old was she? She was tiny. 2? When she was 1. And that's one saved, the way I look at it. And it's just cool stuff, man. That's the positive, which kind of counterbalances the negative of the people that are opposed to that. And I want to bring Al up to do a reading right now. This is Al McGinnis from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Thank you, Jack. God, it's been great being here. Wonderful day. Can you hear me okay? Okay. This is called My People, a Citizen's Report. My people will not stop the song just because the strings break. There are cars left in the rain with the windows down, strands of wire stripped of insulation. We do not clap in rhythm or sing along at concerts. We dance at home with our partners, unseen. We have floorboards filled with cans to be recycled, checks torn in half to be written again. My people are believers who will not speak their prayers aloud. They vote but will not tithe. They live reckless and slow. We believe an eagle's shadow is a blessing. My people are projects half finished, plank and cinder block shelves of books waiting to be read one day when time stops pushing us around the clock. The 9 to 5 when the broken watch, long buried, yields to an afternoon's tinkering. And we take a slow step from our front steps into time, one more tribe flowering out of, then falling into history, whose other name is dust. And since Jack mentioned Isabel, I'll read this poem, which I was planning to read anyway. We get a lot of compliments for adopting Isabel, and it's been, easily the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. But I think even greater and braver was the fact that this woman in Guatemala who never met us was willing to give her up on the assurance that these people, somebody could give her a better life. And that just amazes me. And we have some pictures of Isabel when she was very small with her birth mother, and she's the spitting image. And I hope one day we'll be able to go back and find her and thank her in person. This is called Guardian, and it's about those first few weeks when she was at our house. And we were wondering, what the hell have we done? Pretty sure every parent feels like that at some point. And now that she's 11, I'm still wondering that. I, who was absent from the coupling that made you, who, on the day of your birth, stood unsuspecting, my shadow, a simple blank, a self I can't help seeing as empty now, I will forever feel the ghost membrane of that woman, a girl really, and the young man who made you, and then, in sacrifice too great for human praise, trusted you to strangers, on the thin rope, the pious assurance that the child could be delivered to a life of classrooms, of air conditioners, the milk and vegetables we can offer. It is no small thing to make a child or to raise one. The week after bringing you home, I sat bolt upright, cradling you in the position that would let you sleep. If I nodded into my own half-dream, if I slipped off my moorings, your screams tore both of us back to wakefulness. Your appetite was for the soft organs, the tarnished lungs, the recalcitrant liver, the long mile of intestine before you reach the underside of the heart, which beats too soft for our notice, though mine must have hummed some trance when your sweat-humid face pressed my skin, as though what lay under could be tasted, taken like communion wafers between the lips, like crumbs of ice I gave you once when you fevered, unable to sleep, stranded beyond any real comfort I could give. No longer guardian of sleep, I could only whisper the reassurances I crooned on the plane from Guatemala when you screamed with the pain of an ear infection we didn't know you had. I felt your forehead, as I always do, reflex of every parent against the fear that lives, live as electricity in our bodies. After you wept into damp sleep, I lay beside you, blood heavy as tar, body sluggish and primed for a butcher. The fever would course through you, as they all do, your body a way station, a port where passengers without tickets dream new destinations. Before I was used to saying your name, when you were a smile in photographs, before I coaxed you with fruit or spoonfuls of soft egg. It was clear you would be no footnote or happy ending, but a story built to parallel mine, the story I can only believe I was born to tell. And one more quick one, and then Malcolm Holcomb will be up here and make you forget about all this. This is another poem that features my daughter. When we adopted her, I swore I was not going to be one of those poets who becomes a parent in middle age and writes 800 poems about their child, and so I wrote 1,200. And I was writing a series of kind of poems that pretended to be letters to people, to friends of mine. And this was one I wrote for my friend Doug Anderson, who is a terrific poet and memoir writer. If his book, Keep Your Head Down, is one of the best books I've ever read about Vietnam and its aftermath. He was a medic over there, and he writes very honestly about the adjustment he had, the same adjustments so many of our young men and women are having coming back. The moon, too, is a daughter. When my daughter was 3, the afternoon ghost of the moon made her ask, "Why is the moon so important?" A question I could not answer, though I talked until even I knew I sounded foolish. Later, I wrote a bad poem about that question. Poems have been how I explain myself for so long, I sometimes forget the other ways. I think you might sometimes feel the same way. Between the places where you and I sit lie acres of abandoned factories, bars where men drink the hands off the clock so they can avoid seeing what the day looks like. And deep inside that semi-ruin lies beauty we can't shun or define. I began by talking about my daughter, which is where most things begin and end with me, and the moon, which is with us always, even when, like love or beauty, she turns from us for a while. We are old enough to know we will see her face again. In a month or two, when it's warm enough to sit outside before mosquitoes begin to swarm, I'll light fires in the backyard pit while my daughter runs, looking for the few fireflies still left to jewel the hem of night's robe. And one night, she will notice the shadows a full moon can cast when dark is complete, a beauty we believed in long before we saw it. Thank you.
So I want you to know I've made it like 4 times. And I'm thinking strongly every time, don't fall. 4th time's the charm? 5th time. Does that mean I'm going to fall, or if I can make 5, I'm good? We're going to do a little camera adjustment here because Malcolm's going to sit. I was talking to Skip the other day, and I realized that the hippie bus is a cry for help. And we'll be doing 4 benefits, September 23rd, October 28th, November 18th, and December 16th right here. We're going to have some great music. We're going to have Cody Brooks is going to come back for the opener. If you were at the festival, Cody's going to come. The Danberries are going to come. We'll probably fill that out. That's in September. October is going to be, it's going to be Chuck Johnson of Charlie Horse with Gigi Dover. And then it's going to be Johnny Neal's going to join Blue Mother Tupelo and play piano and hang out. That's going to be cool. And November is Daniel Kimbrough Oh my God, I can't remember now. It's on the website. And then December, we're going to have Tim O'Brien back, Mary Gaucher, maybe Daryl. And we're waiting to hear from the Steel Drivers. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, baby. In here. That'd be a place for it, wouldn't it? You were there for this Chris Stapleton show. I don't know if we've ever done anything better than that. That was quite a night. It's all a lot of fun, that's right. If you've never been to the festival, it's magic, isn't it, RB? RB knows. Hell yeah. But how we doing there, Mike? Are we? Is that the chair you're going to use? What's this one?
Dancing girls, man.
For the Hooters girls?
That's exactly. Yeah, that's a neat.
Malcolm just told me that Hooters has its own helicopter. How'd you know that?
Oh,
Never mind.
a little birdie told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Helicopter birdie.
They're trying to take me and Mississippi on tour with them. We've been, by the way, Mississippi and I celebrated our 45th wedding anniversary last week. Yeah. Bless her heart. No kidding. And we lived in sin for 2 years before that. I was 19 when I met her, and she shortly after that turned 21 and could buy alcohol. And pretty much the last thing I remember. Now we have 4 children, and let me think, 1, 2, 3. We have 5 grandchildren. Is that right, Avery? 7. That's right, counting Jane Catherine, and almost 8. And we're waiting on Silas and Erica. Those of you that know Silas and Erica, if the baby isn't here by Tuesday, they're going to induce. So we're going to have yet probably the last one. Is it the last one, Avery? Are you sure? You're not going again? How about Jessica? Is Jessica going again? She already left. She didn't want to hear about it. I'm going for great-grandchildren next. I got one going to be 12 soon in the 7th grade. That's right. We already got a basketball team. We're going on a football team. There's my buddy Wayne Rock, one of our new neighbors. I got all my neighbors here tonight. Good neighbors. You know, good neighbors are neighbors that own over 200 acres and don't come over much. Just when you need them. Remember that night? A couple of festivals ago? You tell me when you're ready. A couple of festivals ago, I was trying to get a good night's sleep on Thursday night, and the phone rang, and it was Blade Runner, who just found out that his big new 4-wheel RV, all-terrain vehicle, could not fly. Could fly for a minute. But you're better now. They fixed him. Thank God for that good old government insurance. Huh? They took care of you. He's as good as he's going to get. We're taking care of him. Where do you want this, Malcolm? Anybody know who Malcolm Holcomb is?
Yeah. This is just great.
All right, Malcolm Holcomb, give it up.
How you guys doing out there, kids? Doing all right? Yeah. No, I'm just doing good. Good to be back out here in a piece of this nice country world out here, especially the people. It doesn't matter. Just be out here, and my wife keeps me off the couch. Let's see here. Yeah, I gotta have this is my instructions on how to stay out of jail. Number one. Yeah, we're going to pass out the Liberty Circus little instruction sheet on how to stay the hell out of jail. Yeah. But I was just thinking about deviled eggs just for a second here because Barbara and Patricia, my two little girlfriends, and that's what I said. What the hell did I say? Oh. Where's Barbara at anyway? Is anybody here named Barbara? It's Judy and Patricia. Yeah. But here's an old tune. Let me try to scratch out this one called Who Carried You? From a Cajun down there to Carolina, she was sick in the morning. See the town doctor. Alive, Agatha Christie, in that trail way back from New Orleans. Who done it? And who carried you? From the churchyard to the liquor store, from the clothesline clean out the door. Alive, Agatha Christie, in that trail way back from New Orleans. Who done it? And who carried you, Lord? Thelma Marie. 3 boys loved Pearl and Jean. 59 to heaven through 37 years, oh Lord. Who done it? And who carried you? I remember sitting on a lap and smelling Listerine in black and white. Might have been that old faded TV, although it really was a Buick to the A&P. Who done it? And who carried you? Thelma Marie. 3 boys loved Pearl and Jean. 59 to heaven through 37 years, oh Lord. Who done it? Who carried you? Jilly. Cajun down to Carolina, she got sick in the morning. Went to see L.T. Sprinkle, Lord, he's gone. She read John D. MacDonald and Ellery Queen and McCall's Life, Red Book magazines. Walter Cronkite covering the Vietnam War. Live in Agatha Christie in that trail way back from New Orleans. Who done it? Who carried you? And who done it? Who carried you? In a towers of money from LA to London, your formidable foes multiply. In the eyes of the world, fill the pits of your past. Only facts of your lies will survive. The torches of monsters, beady eyes of the mob, burn starkly the cries, your demise. Any nice being white in a president's suit, you never think twice for the greedy man blue. bones. Salute to force. Break a leg out of yours. Blow the dash bloody curtains. Lord, a damn fool will listen. Never change his mind. While the drunkards applaud. Conspire. Ain't it nice being white in the president's suit? You never think twice for the greedy man blues. Oh, yeah. Faith is a fable for the feeble minds, and the faint of heart is a coward. And your blasphemy remains, only you blame. Only love what saves the tender-hearted. Ain't it nice being white in a president's suit? Nice. You never think twice with a greedy man blues. Good. Ain't it nice being white in a president's suit? Nice. You never think twice in the greedy man blues. Lord, nice, nice, nice suit. What a nice, what a nice, nice, yeah, nice. Heads and faith in our hearts, and that's the point of my little old spot on this little planet thing. So I was over in Plymouth, England, a while back, and of course when you quit drinking, you can end up anywhere, man. It's just like when you're drinking, you know, you never know. So I was over there, and this fellow was trying to explain to me this is a little place called Damnation Alley, which is a little risque and a little in between brothels and prostitutes and robbers and stuff like that. And then there were the criminals in this little area. And so I was thinking about it and trying to make up this tune. And 7 hours without a cigarette. So I'll just finish this little segment with this tune, and then we've got Alan Kaufman, who I befriended a while back, and he stirs my soul, and I hope you will dig him in a minute. And so something like this. Bloody curtains in Plymouth, dried out in St. John's. Making a living on the getting out of town. Feeling my age, feeling cynical and wrong. Too scared to believe I belong anymore. Jude's rolling in the evening, not a crumb for a bum. You bet your bottom dollar one day he gonna run. Billionaire barbarians, old cutthroat history. Billionaire barbarians, old cutthroat history breeds. Old money drags a poor man down the new damnation alley. The new damnation alley. Coast to coast, face to face. See their lovely children tore up inside. Stories tell the goals and the names and the graves, covered up by the love we forgot to save. Billionaire barbarians, old cutthroat history breeds. Old money drags a poor man down the new damnation alley. The new damnation alley. Billionaire barbarians, old cutthroat history breeds. Old money drags the poor man down the new damnation alley. The new damnation alley. Thanks. Yeah. Woo! Woo!
Do you need that for this one? Somebody started a fire out there. In case anybody's chilly. What up, Sarah? Isn't this fun? Sarah went on the mountain with us last time. It was a great day, wasn't it? There are no better days than when you go up on the mountain and hand stuff out. It's the most fun there is. You see the best people in the world, and some days you get to hang around with Malcolm Holcomb. I tell you, Malcolm was the very first person we wanted at the very first festival. And he was on his way to Europe when I called him. I figured out quickly that you could just call these people at home. Don't tell anybody that. And I called Malcolm up because I'd seen him on a website for the Jonesboro show over in eastern Tennessee. And he said, I can't come, but call Tim Krekel. Is Debbie in here? I don't think she is. She was here a minute ago. Oh, there's Debbie. And I called Tim Krekel at home. Malcolm gave me his number. And I said, my name's Hippie, and we're having a festival on the plateau, and I want you to come. And he said, if Malcolm said it's a good idea, it's a good idea, and he said he'd come. And it was the night we discovered we had something going, when Tim took the stage on a Saturday night, and all by himself, great concert. And if you ever heard my radio show, that's him doing the bumper music. Doing a little Marvin Gaye. We don't do a lot of cover songs here, but what is the title of that song? What's Going On is the title. And we lost Tim in 2009. Damn, is that possible? We were all diminished in a big way. And Tim Krekel remains the patron saint of jamminathippiejacks, and will be until the day that we close the doors, when my grandchildren or great-grandchildren are... I saw that show. Did you see that show? Unreal, wasn't it? It was unreal. We didn't even have a roof. We just had the little bit over the stage. That was the weekend of the peach moonshine. Remember that? Everybody thought we could drink it because it tasted good. There was a keyboard player from Florida that found out the hard way. But that's another story. Alan Kaufman. Where is he? From New York City. It's all right. My wife lived in New York City before I met her. Did y'all go out? Do you remember? He doesn't remember. Did you date Mississippi before me? You'd remember if you had. Oh, she'd remember. I like it. Alan's going to do a combo thing here, right? You going to read and play? I like it. I like having people from New York City. It makes me feel like we're validated. Give it up for Alan Kaufman. All right.
Check, check.
You see that? So I just want to say how grateful I am that Hippie Jack is hosting the Liberty Circus. We've been on the road. Just to say a word about the Liberty Circus, it was started by Malcolm Holcomb. I met Malcolm about a year or so ago. I was throwing an East Village Folk Festival in New York, and I had a partner named Catherine, who told me, we have to get this guy Malcolm Holcomb to come play. I didn't know who he was. I said, okay. And then came the night of the festival, and she had put him in last in the lineup, like to be the headliner. So I didn't know who he was or what he looked like, and I said, "Where's Malcolm Holcomb?" And she said, "I think he's in the green room." So I went back to the green room and I opened the door and I saw this guy who looked like he cleans the toilets. I said, "Where's Malcolm Holcomb?" He said, "That's me." He said, "Are you hungry?" I said, "Actually, yeah, I am." He said, "You want a sandwich?" This is with the audience out there waiting. I says, "Yes." He says, "Wait a minute." He runs out and he comes back with a sandwich. He says, "You want mustard on that?" I says, "Yeah, I do." He runs out, comes back with mustard. So I'm about to take a bite. He goes, "You want a drink with that, like soda?" I said, "Yeah, I do." He runs out, comes back with a soda. I don't even know where this stuff was coming from. It was just materializing out of thin air. And then we sat down while I ate, and the audience waited, and we talked about Laurel and Hardy. And then he went out and put on the best show I ever saw in my life. It was just unbelievable. The audience were astounded. He's the man. Anyway, this morning I got here with, we came from Nashville, and and I met Anya and, see, I don't even know his name, Hero. And we just sat on our Hippie Jack's porch, and I had a few songs. We didn't really have music for it, and so we just threw something together, and this is what it is. It's called Missouri. "I'm too old for the winter," said my mother, "and no angels cried when she died. Just like did my younger brother, many another beside. My father and me laid her down in the shadow of the hills at night beside the doors in the hot Missouri ground. There my grandparents lie and my cousins, many another besides, took by all manner of dying, from death's fury none can hide. Some fell by the low man's rifle, one bobbed bare near the traps he lay, and many from the fever, two from what lightning they made. Each and every woman, I am sorry to have to say, left this world damned unhappy, hungry, poor and afraid. got me no wife or children, no sisters, no brothers or friends. When my father died, I laid his bones down in the hard Missouri ground. Oh. Now no one's left to bury me. I wander these hills alone. The moon for my company. I'll die where I am found, and the wind will read my sermon from the hard Missouri ground. Yeah. Thank you. We should do another song. Do another song? God, Hero? All right. I like these guys. Okay, I'm going to do Cowboy Sunrise. All right. These are just crazy songs. We put this music for this stuff together this morning. So, Hero, is this the right? Is this where we want it? G sharp. Is that it? G.
Out of a D position.
Was it? So is that?
Play a D chord. Let's check it.
Maybe down one. Nope, maybe up one. We're still trying to figure the music out here.
So, you want Z, right?
You play this out of a D shape, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
maybe 5 feet.
So you want another fifth?
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Okay, right there. Next one? Okay. Okay, good.
Ah, there we go, yeah.
Okay. Totally. Because I don't know shit. Well, I know you're a cowboy's daughter and drifted, excuse us. Well, I know you're a cowboy's daughter and drifted's in your eyes. But home is there too, and a kid or two. That husband to whom you lie. So I'll stay with you for a night or two, but please don't be surprised to find yourself alone again with a cowboy sunrise. I can picture you when after he's gone, picking yourself up from the motel bed. Well, last night you said that I was a fool and wrong to think that you could not be true. You'd be true so long as you could see in my eyes. I wasn't planning a ride to a cowboy's sunrise. Well, I half believe you, and halfway I don't, though I love you, it is true. But you're a cowboy's daughter, and drifting's what you do. You're just like me, sad but free, and you'll never compromise. Your soul's hungry, yearning for a cowboy's sunrise. Thank you. Thank you. We spent about 10 minutes on that song. Thank you. These guys are great, man. They really. So I guess I'll finish out this with a poem. And we'll come back in the second half. Let's see. Okay. This is a poem, Let Us.